Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
How to make your ebook workshop a win. Prosper, what have you done? If you're a listener of this podcast, you'd recall that yesterday, or I'm not quite sure when you'll be listening to this podcast, but the podcast just before this one, I gave you a business idea that you can turn your ebook into a workshop. And boy, should I have been ready for the many emails that came. Everybody's saying, oh my God, that's impossible. Oh, wow, that has changed my life. Oh my God, so much clarity. I don't know if you've listened to that podcast. If you haven't, just stop this podcast and go and listen to episode number 6, where I recently talked about a surefire way to maximize your business potential. And this was a really big hit. Sometimes when you do this podcast, you don't think a lot of people are listening, but people is listening. All right. So, in that podcast, I was telling people that you can literally just turn your content, especially an ebook, into a workshop and just get ready to impress the socks off your prospect. And everybody cottoned on to it and said, wait a minute, I didn't even think that was possible. So in today's episode, I'm just going to expand a little bit about that. So just call it episode 6.1, 2.0, just maybe an elongated version of what I would have said in episode 6. But if you haven't listened to the first one, for context, it will be advisable for you to go and listen to episode number 6. But episode number 7 is here, and we're talking about how to make your ebook workshop a win. And I want you to win. I want you to start creating diverse recurring revenue streams that will skyrocket your profitability and ensure that your business remains 100% bulletproof, even during lockdowns, even during global pandemics, or any market downturns. Because if you turn your content into products, let me tell you something, assets are what create wealth, and wealth follows assets. All right, so you've got an ebook, you've created it, and now you're wondering, how is this workshop thing going to work? And I told you can do the workshops on Zoom, you can do the workshops in person. It actually helps for you to just start small, find a small group of people that you can just hang around with and connect with them in such a way that it makes it easy for them to get an understanding of what you are trying to portray in your ebook. But exactly how should you then set up this ebook-based workshop? How can you actually make sure that you win at it, and how can you actually start generating recurring revenue and also deliver outstanding results for your clients so that you actually win their loyalty for life? All right. If you're anybody else that's now really excited about this type of content that we bring out, just make sure you subscribe to this podcast and just make sure you keep listening, because, hey, man, advice and tips like this is what people pay $25,000 just to get access to. All right. But I'm giving it out for you for free. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I really want you to win. I want you to start making so much money that you can now afford to work with us. Because, hey, if I don't create my own customers, then I'm going to have to be, winning a race to the bottom. And I ain't about that. Okay, so I can imagine and I can understand, and the reason why I want to give out all this information is because I can understand growing your business is tough. All right. I mean, as a coach or a consultant, you're calling potential clients every single day, having them maybe hang up in your face, and you're sending out hundreds of emails without even getting as much as, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. The reason why that is because people don't trust you. Either they don't trust your work, they don't trust the solution you're giving them, or they just maybe they have never heard of you, and you are living and breathing your brand, and you think that people have actually heard of you. So if you also listen to episode number 6, I was saying that our clients are selfish, they're stupid, and they're lazy. Right, so they're selfish in such a way that they're always looking into what's in it for me. They're stupid in as much as they don't read, they don't write, they don't want to consume as much information as we do as coaches and consultants. So we need to bring it to them so that they can do and have a happier existence. And they're lazy because you know what? Their lives are filled with stuff for them to look after: their kids, their wives, their work, their hobbies, everything else that comes along in between. They gotta drink, they gotta have fun, go to parties and all that stuff, and they don't have time to consume as much content as we can. So if we create workshops for them, it becomes a concentrated avenue for them to get information. All right, it becomes an easy way for them to at least excuse themselves from the humdrum of their lives, their offices, and then attend your workshop. And from that workshop, then they get to know, like, and trust who you are. And pretty much they are not going to concentrate on any other of your competitors. You've gained their trust, you've engaged them, you've educated them, you've inspired them, and you have positioned yourself through that workshop as the go-to person for them to solve whatever problems that you are solving. But like I said, how exactly should you set up this ebook-based workshop, and how can you make it a show win? I'll tell you that. Just keep listening. Don't you touch that dial. Okay, so no matter what type of coach, consultant, or small business owner that you are in, all right, no matter what sort of product or service that you sell, if you host a workshop, it is actually a great idea that can actually bring huge benefits to your business. All right, if you also check out, we do workshops every single month, and it's usually an hour. If you're not on an email list, then maybe you might be missing out on valuable content. Can you imagine if I'm just giving this out on a podcast? If I have actually taken your time, I've gotten your attention, you're in front of me, or we are doing a Zoom, imagine how much information you will get from me. And I promise I always want to make sure that I deliver, because one of the things that I want to hear in my life almost every single day is somebody coming back to me and saying, hey, Prosper, because of you, I did not give up. So if it's going to mean me writing, if it's going to mean me talking, if it's going to mean me being on video, ebooks, workshop, or whatever it is, I vouch to create for and relate to everyone else that I'm going to be dealing with or doing business with in the future. All right. So no matter what you're doing, no matter who you is, all right, if you host a workshop, it is actually a great way for you to generate leads without stress or struggle. And like I said, you can do these online. So just think about it. All right, before we even dive into it, I'm just looking at the time here. It's almost 7 minutes, and you're probably sitting there and saying, come on, just say it. Or what? You gotta unsubscribe? Or what? Listen. All right, think about it. A workshop lets you show off your expertise in person. All right, there you are in front of them. You're exchanging ideas. You're talking to them. They're seeing you. They're hearing you. They're experiencing you. Other than your competitors that are just blogging and showing off what they're doing on social media, if you're in front of your audience, you are literally helping them by actually helping them. Some people are visual learners. Some people learn by listening. Some people learn by experiencing. All right. So you are touching all of those aspects that can help people comprehend and make sense of the world around them. You get to demonstrate how you can solve a specific problem, and you have the opportunity to actually engage with fresh prospects, people that have never known of who you are. Maybe they've just been dragged to this workshop, and then automatically their minds get opened to your world, and then they come in and they start experiencing everything that you've been creating all this time. So you can talk to people mano a mano, one to one, answer any questions directly, and you can give them some really personal attention and show them that you are a nice person. And I'm assuming you are, really, because you can't go far if you are not authentic. You're not going to go far if you don't have any emotional intelligence. And I'm assuming that you, being a coach or consultant, you really want to deliver your consulting, your training, your information, your expertise, and your paid speaking, just so that you can help people make sense of the world around them, just so that you can help people solve their problems, just so that you can literally make the world a better place by you showing up every single day. It could be through your ebook or through your workshops. Okay, so when you're talking to people, you're literally giving them a transformation and helping them understand things that you have known for a very long time, but you haven't had a chance to actually put it out there, for the whole world to experience. Oh yeah, all right, and you also get to promote something you sell, which becomes a bonus, because when people are already there, they are already halfway towards buying something from you. And if you've given them enough information, enough value, they've made up their mind to say, you know what, I think this person is really, really knowledgeable about this topic. Why don't I let them do it, because they can do it cheaper, better, faster than even if I try to do it myself. And here's another bonus. When you also workshop, it lets you actually pick some maybe public speaking experience, because you're speaking in front of an audience, all right? And it's a very valuable skill for you to have in your back pocket. If you listen to maybe 2 or 3 podcasts below, I was talking about Jerry Seinfeld saying that some people would rather be the person doing the in the coffin than being the person who does the eulogy at a funeral, because they find it very difficult for them to speak in public. Now, this is a controlled environment. You created this. You wrote the ebook. You invited these people, so you are in control. They came to see you, all right? There's nothing to fret here. They came for you. They could have been out there, wallowing in their misery or watching their kids run amok in their house, but they chose to be with you, the expert, the person who's going to take them from where they are to where they are going to be in terms of a transformation. So, when you start learning how to be, when you start learning how to be a public speaker, you literally have yet another skill that is transferable, because some people can invite you to come and speak on their stages. Some people can invite you to speak on their Zoom, and now you can just repeat whatever it is that workshop you already practiced, and it just flows off your lips as if you are a radio DJ or something of that nature. Now, your event could actually lead to maybe, like I say, other speaking opportunities, and you can start traveling. You've seen Gary Vee traveling places and everything else. He started practicing his speech, doing videos and what's called wine library. And then somebody picked up on that. Those were workshops on wine. He was basically explaining his knowledge around, the subject of wine. Do you know what I mean? And then people picked up on that. Magazines picked up on that. Ellen picked up on that. Tabloids, mainstream media picked up on that. And guess what? Now he's this big guy who's just going around the world creating, content and having fun in the process. And that could be you, my friend. Okay, you start to meet new cool, networking people. You never know who's in your audience. That's one thing that happens when you bring people together. Either people can collaborate on their own, they can want to collaborate with you, and now you've gotten yourself into these partnerships that now even increase the revenue that you would have, made while you're just maybe sitting at your home without even worrying about where to get your next client from. Wouldn't that be nice? So let me tell you something. A workshop can bring you fame, fortune, and a lot more confidence and, positioning in and of itself. People get to trust you, because when they see other people around you, it creates instant social proof. All right. And if people connect by themselves at that workshop, whatever relationship will come from there is going to be perpetual branding for you for free Can I keep going with this? If I was in other places, I would have asked for an amen. But for just out of love and respect, just have an understanding of what I'm, saying here. Are you picking up what I'm dropping? All right. So you basically own this event. You basically have the soft skills of public speaking. You gain confidence, and there's the crux of the matter. Confidence. Most people hold themselves back from hosting maybe workshops. Then, if they really, really know their stuff, just because they lack confidence in their ability to put up great content out there. There's a lot of mediocre people that are full of confidence, but are airheads. They've got nothing to say, but they've got the confidence. And then there's a lot of experts that I come across that are just too humble and shy, and they're missing out on all the fun and activities that come along with you putting yourself out there, not in ways of look at me, but you're actually going out and helping people. Let me tell you something. If somebody has a broken foot and you help them, you're lifting so that they don't put pressure on their foot, do you think they're going to tell you no? Do you think they're going to tell you, no, I got this, I'm going to look after myself? And you can literally see the bone sticking out of their skin. Do you think they're going to tell you, no, don't help me? But if you go there and you start taking selfies and that person is in pain, what are they going to think? They're going to be like, come on, man. No, I don't want none of this stuff. Go away. All right? So when you start having confidence, you start gaining a position within the marketplace. And that stuff, you are not given positioning, you earn it, you build it. All right? So at the end of the day, those are some advantages of how you can actually go in. But let me tell you something. Some people might just have all those pre-event jitters, or they might think, I don't think I'll be able to pull this through, and start wondering if everything is set up right, if you look okay. Man, just leave that ego, man. People are there to learn from you. All right. It's going to be a vicious cycle. Before you feel confident, to host any workshop, you also need to feel confident that your workshop is set for success. So here's how you can actually breathe a sigh of relief and build confidence within your workshop long before people start filling the hole or filling up the seats, and then giving you anxiety. First of all, I want you to relax. Relax, don't do it. Yeah, you know that song? Relax. Take a few deep breaths. And out. In again. And out. Slow breaths anytime can slow down any anxiety. And you can use positive affirmations and just tell yourself that you are prepared. You are there to help people. You are can you actually tell I've actually calmed down because of those breaths? You can see the power of breaths. You know what I mean? See, we've already nailed it. You're not afraid. You're just afraid that you might bomb it. And at the end of the day, you're the expert. People are coming to see you. You will nail it. Okay, now you're ready to go. You know what to talk about. You can handle it. I want you to believe in yourself. Believe me, believing in yourself is the biggest muscle you need to start working on right about now. And don't forget, the audience is interested in what you have to say and who you are and what has brought them to leave whatever it is that we're doing to come and see you, bro. All right. So once you've figured out everything, your workshop, check out if your handouts are all printed out and they're all no spelling errors or no mistakes, and they're easy and intuitive for people to work through and understand. Just make sure your worksheets and handouts are in an easy, accessible area. All right. So maybe just have a stack of them, maybe at the door in your hotel room or at home, just so that you don't forget them, or put them in your briefcase before you leave. And then just make sure that you have them in a visible place when it's your moment to start speaking. Maybe just have them already placed on people's seats so that you don't have to redistribute them and create some more noise and commotion when people come in. And make sure you also have pens handy. Sometimes people forget to bring a pen, so offer pens and pencils with your handouts and pass them around as you begin. All right. You want people to take notes, jot down phone numbers, questions. You want them to be engaged. You want them to respond and remind people of your contact information just before you leave. Because what's the point in you just showing up for a presentation and not having them, a way to contact you? And don't forget to remind them that they have a pen in hand and it's a gift from you. So it will be good if they're actually branded pens. That would be a best way to actually distribute branded pens instead of just giving people a pen. I've got a lot of pens here that I don't even know where I got them from. But if you're giving people a pen from a workshop, it just really creates that feel of, you are actually there to create value. All right. And once you're giving people the workshop, it's not it's not like a podcast where I know I'm just recording into the internet. You know what I mean? You want to engage with your audience. They came to learn, all right? They didn't just come to see a talking head. Get your audience involved. Get them to form groups. It's a workshop, all right? In a workshop, work happens. Hands are used. Mouths are used. People are not just supposed to be in a dingily lit hotel room where they cannot even turn their head without kissing the guy next to them. All right. So you just want to have them engage. Let them have fun. All right. That way, your workshop no longer just becomes a classroom. It becomes valuable. It becomes a fun event, and people engage with fun. We are all fully grown babies in here just seeking somebody to walk us home. All right. So just be there for them. Let them experience a certain amount of fun and joy that they can never experience anywhere else. And they will associate that with your brand. They will associate that with your solution. They will associate that with your product. All right. And let me tell you something. People take away more information and remember it longer if they have a hands-on activity, if all their senses are involved. Okay. I went to a workshop one day where somebody asked us to look at, the person next to us directly in the eyes. And a few people, mentioned that they felt like wanting to kiss the other person, even if they were in a committed relationship. That's the kind of, intensity you want to bring into the workshop. I'm not saying you should get people to be promiscuous. I'm just saying you want to create that level of connection amongst people because it's not there anywhere else. Because everybody else is just really, really distance. There's this whole social distancing that is happening. Create events that bring people together. And if you can create partnerships out of that, everybody's going to be saying, oh, remember, we met at so-and-so's workshop. We met at Sally's thing, and that continues to become branding for your products long after the event has gone to pass. Okay. And let me tell you something. Also hold a Q&A session. A few of them. Normally what I do is during a Q&A session, I actually take somebody's website and I go through it and I tell them exactly where they're missing out on either ranking on Google or actually making their money. That way, it actually connects them to what you're talking about and personalizes it without making it feel like it's a distant or foreign subject in and of itself. Okay. Have you ever been to a comedy club? Have you noticed something about comedians? They always pick on a member of the audience. What they're doing there is they are creating a level of intimacy with the audience that, oh my God, so he is human too. Or you now start making the people in front very attentive just so that they cannot be picked on. All right. That's a very clever thing. I'm not saying go in and pick on your people, but you can borrow aspects of a comedian, because a comedian knows how to engage the audience. He gets everybody in on the joke, all right, so that they actually can have a good story to tell. And it's in stories that we actually market our business. It's in stories that people talk about at a barbecue or at another event while they're listening to another boring person, they'll be hoping and wishing they were in bed. Oh, sorry, they were at your event. All right. And then pretty much what you want to do is just recover, learn from your mistakes, learn from whatever you're doing, At the end of the day, all of you guys are there to learn. They are learning what you dishing out, and you're also learning how to be a bigger, better presenter in the future. All right, so use it as a learning curve. Okay, they don't know as much as you do, and you know a little bit more, so just keep listening out to what people actually have a problem with, and then you can be the person that can solve whatever problems that comes along the way. So you can actually make this a paid workshop, or you can make it a free workshop with a product offering at the end. What this does is it creates a diverse recurring revenue stream that will actually skyrocket the profitability and ensure your business remains 100% bulletproof. If you have somebody recording this workshop, you can actually then sell it with the ebook as the lead magnet, and then sell the workshop videos to other people that couldn't attend the workshop. Now see how many income streams you can start creating just from one idea. I can imagine. I cannot wait to see what you're gonna do with this information, because once you inoculate yourself from all of this humdrum, you've created all of these products. Even when we have any lockdowns, we've got global pandemics, we've got market downturns, you will still have your head above water. You know why? Because you've got something that people can engage with. Even if they can't go out, they can still watch you from their phones or from their laptops. All right? So you are at a position where you are actually creating your own future every workshop, one workshop at a time. And you can actually then make it into a video series that people can opt into. You're increasing your reach, you're teaching people, you're educating them, you're providing them with value, you're inspiring them to want more, be more, and have more. And how do you think people will respond back to you? Because as human beings, we always respond back with what's called reciprocity. And reciprocity means everyone, if you give them value, they are going to be willing to return that in cash or in kind. So I'll take cash any day. And now you've got products that people can buy and purchase and engage with while you're busy working on other projects. So imagine your ebooks that are sitting on your website right now. What are you doing with them? You can turn them into a workshop, and this workshop can start having a world of its own. We no longer have to go on Oprah or on Ellen or a late night TV show just so that we have, a wider audience. We can create that by ourselves. And once you've taken people on a journey and they now know what it is that you can do, hey, you've created customers for life. And you want to keep the conversation going. When the workshop is done, it doesn't end there. You can start a podcast series that follows through after that. Can you see what all of this can create for you? It doesn't end there. Invite people to come and hang out after the workshop, maybe on your social media, on your LinkedIn. Get people to write reviews for you. Get people to write testimonials. All of that now becomes perpetual content that just keeps feeding off of you having created something once. Like I told you, man, people pay $25,000 to just hear of this idea and put it out there. But I just gave it out to you for free. So I want you to post your thoughts or just reply on the email that came with this podcast. Tell me how you're going to do this or what you're going to do about it, or if you need help to create this, because I can't just give you an idea and I wouldn't have, a solution to it. All right. So I can't see you failing at this, because people will end up talking about your workshops for days, weeks, even years. And that's good for business, isn't it? So just keep the conversation going. All right? And if you've got any other ideas, just let me know. But once you've created recurring revenue streams, you no longer have to worry where your customers are coming from, man. Like I said, it's hard enough as it is to generate leads. You cold calling potential clients and you get hang up in your face all the time. You send out hundreds of emails and people don't even know who you are. And sometimes you feel like no one wants to buy what you're selling. It's because you are not creating workshops. You're not creating immersive products that people want to engage in. Yes, of course, they want SEO. Yes, of course, they want coaching. Yes, of course, they want mindset training. Yes, of course, they want hypnosis. But most of all, people just want to have fun. People just want to be entertained. People just want to be educated in their own terms. What better way to do it than, creating a workshop that will actually bring people together while they are enjoying your content and getting to learn more about what it is that you do. I guarantee you, if you create a workshop, obviously, even if you're paying to get those leads into your into your email list, it becomes a self-liquidating offer if you're charging for that workshop, or if you are selling, something, in your, product life cycle there. So you're here to educate people. You're here to engage with them. You will want to inspire them, provide them with value while positioning yourself. And what a better way than creating a workshop that will actually bring people together and have them talking about you for years to come. I want to attend one of your workshops after you've created this, and then I want to give you a testimonial, or maybe hear you say, oh my God, Prosper, because of you, I went on and I created this. That's my mission in life. I can't wait to see you succeed and start creating a life that you absolutely deserve. Turn that ebook into a workshop and just watch the magic unfold. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au